Welcome back to Quick Take Charge. I'm Tim Stenovec in New York. Well, 4 days into the new year and talks about a market bubble already has some investors concerned it may burst in 2021. One indication of that may be Bitcoin, which has kicked off the new year with some volatile swings. Bloomberg News cross-asset reporter Claire Ballantyne joins me now to discuss. Hey, Claire, what issues do you see with the digital currency at the start of the year? We saw a major pullback after a record high this weekend.
Definitely. It's been really difficult to figure out sort of the drivers behind Bitcoin's volatility, but I think we've just seen it rise so quickly and so violently upward that, most people are sort of expecting there to be a pullback at some point. And we sort of saw that after its huge surge to 34,000 over the weekend. Definitely some people speculating that we could see more of a pullback. There's also the fact that we have a new administration coming in, and there may be some increased attention from regulators, especially given all of this volatility. So it's something that people are watching as we head into the new year.
So there's no big reason as to why we saw this pullback overnight, at least U.S. time. Like, we don't know if there was one large fund manager who saw it hit a record and was like, okay, that's it, we're pulling our Bitcoin.
Yeah, not that we know about. It's very difficult to sort of figure out these drivers that influence Bitcoin. But I mean, the digital asset, it's up more than 300% over the past year. So, some pullback is definitely not to be unexpected.
Right, a 15% decline after that isn't that big of a deal, you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's risen so quickly and so violently forward that, a pullback is probably in order. Lots of different opinions across Wall Street about what Bitcoin will do next, but it definitely could face some headwinds if we have, increased regulation on the sector with a new leadership at the SEC and the Biden administration coming in.
I'm curious how this might sort of set up what investors should expect to stomach when it comes to Bitcoin in 2021. I think for a lot of people who may have started paying attention to Bitcoin maybe in September or October, have only seen this go up, right?
Definitely. It's something that, people definitely should keep their eye on. And it's been just such a spectacular rally that it's hard to sort of predict the future. I think a lot of people are wondering if it is a bubble. And there are some indications about the broader market, some questions about if we're approaching bubble-like territory. The NASDAQ 100 has doubled in 2 years. We're seeing the IPO market just absolutely manic. And, stocks haven't been this expensive since the dot-com era. It is leading some people to speculate that, we could be in bubble territory and that Bitcoin is a symptom of that.
So Bitcoin is sort of a harbinger of what's to come when it comes to other assets that investors are investing in. Well, let's talk stocks. I mean, based on your reporting, what are the concerns about us being in a bubble with equity markets?
Yeah, so I had a story over the weekend that I worked on with some colleagues and looking at how some researchers from Harvard University had sort of looked at some of the telltale signs of a bubble. And some of those were having an IPO market that's just going, absolutely crazy, some big pops there, some heightened volatility, also seeing increased share issuance. And, some of these checkpoints are things that we're seeing now in the market. And that doesn't mean that we are definitely in a bubble, but it's something to sort of take note of. And with all of that, that could lead then to speculation that what happens if the bubble bursts.
Well, let's talk IPOs because December was a record month and 2020 a record year for IPOs. How is 2021, at least the early part, looking? Do we still see a strong IPO market in the coming months?
Investors I have talked to have said that it's just an incredible environment for IPOs. People are really hopping on these new issuances. IPOs raised $180 billion, the most ever in 2020, with companies like Snowflake, Airbnb, DoorDash. So some people that I've talked to have said that it's a prime environment for that, with the Fed keeping interest rates low. Then again, yet to be determined if it's, gone too far too fast, but it's definitely, people that I've interviewed have said it's a favorable environment for IPOs right now.
Bloomberg News cross-asset reporter Claire Ballantyne. Claire, always great to have you on the show. Thanks for your time.